we all sort of have gravitate to a few of these voices, okay? So one of them is I am not worthy. Okay, so I've been working with a client, and before we started working together, there was a lot of working overtime. There was, many times where she would feel sick. There's many times where she'd work on the weekends. There's many times where she would just kind of burn the candle at two ends. And, she had a vision, she had a dream. She wants to, continue to run her coaching and her branding coaching business. And it's pretty clear, right? But there was this kind of part of her that was speaking to the I'm not worthy. And this is not something like we consciously do. It's just the way we start to see these things unfold is we start to see our actions, we start to see our thoughts, and we start to see how we're feeling. So we want to pay attention to that. We want to see what are we doing, what are we thinking, and what are we feeling, because those are the external voices of the unconscious, especially if it's a pattern that you don't necessarily that this is not serving me, but you continue to do it anyway. There's something deeper inside that we haven't necessarily looked at. So if you were to work with me, that's what we do, to look at those things. And sometimes we think these things are obvious when we talk about it, but for some reason humans need other humans to see that sort of deeper layer. And if you have a good coach, like I have good coaches, they're always going to see the deeper layer that you don't necessarily see. Okay, so I am not worthy, right? I'll go through the 6. I don't belong. I am not capable. I am not perfect. I am not significant. I am not enough. Okay, so just see which one of these hits you, right? I'm not worthy, So we're constantly doing something, putting something out there to kind of prove that it's what I do is worth, I'm valuable, right? So I'm going to do all these things to show everybody that this is worth it, okay? I don't belong. Now, I think it's so funny. We work with mostly wellness coaches, people in the healing arts, coaches, healers, and often there is a group of us that don't feel like we belong in the marketing scene, in the business, aspect, in the sales, in the money. So these kind of 3 words, marketing, sales, and money, are kind of like, we kind of sometimes are allergic to these words. So raise your hand, let me know if that's you, where you have energy around that. And we all do, right? We all do. Even those who are out there putting themselves out there, there is a energy around exposing and revealing, especially when we're revealing to the world what our soul really wants, right? When you're building your dream business, it's no longer based on something that is already given to you. It's no longer based on something that else has been kind of created certainty. It's this deep longing that is compelling you, and that is like almost like this secret thing that you would just love to do. And so these false CEOs will have this kind of sneaky little way of speaking to your weakness that kind of almost convinces you to tell you that I'm not enough. Who's gonna, I don't have enough experience. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I'm not capable. So that looks like somebody who is going to take a lot of certifications and are like experts. And most of the people in our client base have, years of experience, and yet they still need another certification. And I'm not saying it's bad to take another certification, but they will never claim their expertise because they just feel like, okay, I just need to get a next, I had a client who she was like, okay, I'll just get a nutrition certification. And she is like one of the best trainers in her city. Like literally people like are lining up to work with her. And she has to say no to like many people. And so, and it's been like literally 3 decades that she's been working in her field. So she is the expert. And I've worked with her personally, and out of everyone I've worked with, I've worked in the fitness industry for decades. She is literally one of the top trainers I've ever worked with. And yet, when we worked on marketing together, she was like, okay, let me just do one more certification and another training over here, and then I'll finally be able to like own that title. But the thing about the I'm not capable and the false CEO is that that problem and that problem reality will never be satisfied unless we start to realize how it is actually our superpower. So I am not enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not capable, I don't belong. Now, I don't belong, and I was sort of, I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but I don't belong is, people in, I find the healing art or in coaching or something like that, they don't necessarily, like we teach our clients to package and position themselves as the expert. Find out what their life altering transformation they offer their clients. So it could be you help people with binge eating. You help people with ADHD who don't necessarily take their the way that their brain works as their superpower. You work with people with PTSD who maybe were veterans in the war. There are certain life altering transformations that you offer, and you're going to see, and it's not something you pull out of the air. You're going to see it. There's often like a triangle of three. There's often those who naturally are drawn to you, and there's your own personal experience. Okay, so that if you were to work with me, we start to draw that out, because when we start to do those kind of niche, fill in the blanks, we kind of, what we'll do is we'll superficially pick our niche. We'll pick the one that is based on what we think is a good idea, what is going to make money, what sounds good. And if you were to work with me, what we'll do is we're going to really draw out, like from your own depth and your own strength and your own superpower and your own unique genius, who you serve at a deep level. Because that's what's going to create longevity for you. Because if you try to kind of do some fancy niche that you feel like, oh yeah, this is a really good trend, guess what? You're going to burn out, because it's not sustainable. We need to come from that place where it's like, oh, this is the thing I would just love to do. These are my dreamiest clients, and this is the I would love to work these many hours and get paid this much per month or the year, right?